So, one of the cool things of my life, I think, was when I was a scoutmaster. And I was made scoutmaster. You were not quite in
No,
the
I
scouts
wasn't,
yet. And, but I
Like
think
10.
it was a couple
9 or
years
10.
before. I think I was scoutmaster 4 years, and then I was involved with scouts, the Deacons Quorum, after that for a while. But you two were in the scout troop while I was there. Now, one cool thing that we did in the scout troop is we didn't want to have your regular scout uniform, which looks like this. You know, it's got the little red things. I don't even know what those were called, but anyway. And then you've got the regular
It's
scout
like a
pants.
desert sand color.
Right, and then you had the scout pants that went along. You've got
We
the
never had scout
the
pants, we were
green and
pretty
everything.
broke.
But you know, we wanted, when you had to represent, you did represent a little bit. But when I was a scoutmaster, we wanted to do cool things, and I think we were able to do that, right?
Yeah.
You know, we went to, I don't know, we went to, on a Sunday even, we went to Canada at the border and so the kids could get their international merit badge. We had to have an international event, what is it, Citizenship in the World.
Sure.
Something like that.
Anyway, so but then we heard about this really cool scout camp.
That's cool,
In
Dad.
Oregon.
Doing stuff on Sunday.
Yeah, well, Bishop Fred Claridge, we got permission from the bishop. We had sacrament meeting while we were on traveling, but anyway, we had we were gonna go to this cool scout camp
Costa, Oregon.
in Oregon.
Yeah. It's a Camp
On the
Merriweather.
coast.
Meriwether, right?
Yeah.
Meriwether,
It was right. It's just west of Tillamook.
right?
Right.
Right on the coast. And so we wanted to, everybody had to have uniforms, and not everybody had it, but I knew Fred Claridge. He ran the scout uniform bank, and at the uniform bank, he had
He
all
was
these
the plug.
uniforms. And
Yeah.
he had a bunch of old uniforms from the 1970s that nobody wore, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. We could get everybody outfitted in these uniforms, and this is what it looked like. It was kind of a greenish uniform, and I thought,
Like
okay,
an olive green.
Yeah.
kind of an olive green uniform like this.
Baseball style.
And I remember in the 70s when I was a Boy Scout, this is actually my beret from when I was a Boy Scout in the 70s, and we would wear this little beret, and we put that on, and I thought, well, this would look cool if we had this beret, and we wore a red T-shirt kind of like this. So we would put on this the uniform like this. And anyway, so you have this red shirt underneath,
'Cause it's like a baseball. It's like a baseball shirt.
yeah. And then we put the beret on, and of course, if we had pants, we'd put the pants on.
Most of us didn't wear pants at all.
Bare bottoms.
If we had pants, we spent all of our money on shirts. So
These were free,
we
by the
stood
way.
out.
But anyway,
really
what
stood out.
and so I thought it was
Little white
cool. But
butts.
what did you guys? Okay, what was it like? You were first year you went to Meriwether, and you went to Camp Meriwether the next year or something. But we all had these uniforms, and everybody had a little beret thing, right?
like the
So-
French Foreign Legion.
Yeah. So yeah, not quite.
We were ruckus. We were a ruckus bunch, and people recognized our ruckusness.
But it wasn't a bad ruckus.
No, it wasn't.
We made noise.
We were conspicuous.
So what was your memories of the kids when other troops saw us in these retro uniforms and the berets and the red shirts like this?
When I was in Scouts, it wasn't like a cool thing to do or anything. So all my peers outside of the Scout troop, I would get teased about it. But I always thought that we looked pretty cool as the troop.
Yeah,
in
as a
in
group,
green-
for
in the
sure.
green- in the
If
green
you were on
shirts.
your own, it didn't feel so good. But
Yeah, like and it's especially at the scouting jamborees where there might have been a dozen other troops there,
Right.
maybe a couple dozen other troops
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And we're the only bunch, 12 or 15 of us, dressed like this with the red hats, looking sharp, and then on top of that, like how we looked in the cool, unique uniforms. We just kind of had a reputation for whatever reason. I think the loudness of our uniforms lended to the loudness of
We
our
were
reputation.
pretty confident, but I remember we always won stuff.
Yeah.
Like competitions between troops, we would
Yeah.
always win.
We'd
Not
win-
tying or hatchet throwing, swimming,
Yeah,
those kinds of things.
fire starting
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
sandcastle building.
Yeah.
Everyone had their
Job.
their specialty.
Yeah.
You know, it was like Reservoir Dogs,
Pretty.
but we were the Red Beret Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I remember leaders coming up to me and saying, "Where did you get those uniforms? Those are so awesome."
It's not your
Everybody-
beeswax.
Well, how many Boy Scouts is it, like troops, is it pulling teeth to get everyone in a uniform?
Yeah.
And I don't remember because I was never pulling with teeth, but would you say that it was easier?
It was easy.
To
I
get
think
us-
with the retro uniforms,
Yeah.
we all knew we looked good compared to everybody else.
And you knew that was Troop 95.
And this,
Yeah.
that's
And
right.
you had to look at the shoulder patch of all the other troops and figure out who they are.
But they
where
knew
they're
who
from.
we were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without a doubt. We stood out like poop in a punch bowl.
You'd see like at the campfire events or whatever,
Yeah.
and there'd just be this like
It's like a
little
taupe wall.
this little blob of bobbing red hats. You know,
Yeah.
we're all sitting together and
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, like get your uniform.
Well,
We wanted to
these
all be
uniforms, I have to say,
united in it.
these uniforms, it never would have happened if it wasn't for Fred Claridge.
Sure.
Yeah.
And did you know Fred Claridge just died a couple weeks ago?
They just departed.
Just-
a couple
yeah.
weeks ago.
And he was such an awesome scouter, and he always helped me. He knew that I was a scoutmaster, and he had a special spot for me. And so if I needed some uniforms, he was Johnny on the spot.
He was the plug.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Times.
that was good times.
It was good.